Okay, so yes, welcome to Mapping the Wardrobe. This is a Union of Concerned Researchers project. I'm aware that I think we've got members and non-members of the union here today. So I'll just say a few words about the Union of Concerned Researchers in Fashion. We're a self-funded, fully independent global community of researchers and fashion practitioners working for systems change in the fashion sector. We were founded in 2018. And maybe Hakan, you could stick the link in the chat for me to the UCRF website. Thank you. Membership of UCRF is open to researchers, people working in the fashion industry, fashion educators, scientists, and concerned citizens. So really anybody who feels motivated to kind of engage with this kind of work. By joining UCRF and signing our manifesto, you'd be showing your support for robust knowledge making for fashion and sustainability and become part of a collective group of like-minded people. So it's really about trying to bring people together, considering that often work in the field of fashion sustainability can feel isolating and challenging. So it's getting together, working together to try to drive change. So this project today, the Mapping the Wardrobe project, has been organised as part of our current action season. We have 2 action seasons a year where we undertake a small number of kind of discrete projects that can activate the manifesto, the union's manifesto in different ways. So members can propose projects. So this one was proposed by Salome and supported by Hakan and by me. And we're members of the board of UCRF, and we have some other board members here today too. So the Mapping the Wardrobe project is really aiming to investigate the provenance of the garments produced in globally dispersed supply chains. And Salome has really brought this wonderfully kind of deceptively simple question of who and where are our clothes connected to. So the performance that we'll see in a moment, and just to emphasize, this is sort of work in progress. Salome's kind of sharing where she's up to with this work. It's not a totally kind of complete creative contribution. It's based on material generated by participants at an online workshop in April, and I think we have some people here who were there, which is great. Where we were drawing on factual knowledge and speculative possibilities to explore the global supply chains that could have produced a number of specific garments from Salome's wardrobe. So she opened up her wardrobe to us, and we tried to think about where those things might have come from. We were looking at a selection of garments and trying to think about where they might have been made, where the materials used might have come from. So tracing the materials and the hands which would have handled those materials back through the stages of production, from garment construction, back to fabric production, back to fibre production. And of course, there's some information on the garment's label, but that only gives us a starting point. And we found that information sort of quickly runs out. It refers only to that final stage of putting a garment together. So we were sort of drawing on common sense, industry knowledge, educated guesses, and noticing and being kind of open to acknowledging where that knowledge ran out, where we became completely stumped. Where does this come from? Do we know? How would we find that out? So we're really grateful to those who contributed to that activity. That's provided material for Salome to work with, and in itself kind of triggered a really lively discussion, and many questions arose that we just couldn't answer conclusively. So I'm going to hand over to Salome, who has created this sort of pilot version of a performance that builds on her initial question and the questions that arose when we tried this activity of tracing back the threads together. Okay, so I think if we all, other than Salome, turn off our cameras now. Thank you. And Salome, over to you.
And Hakan is sharing the screen.
Yeah.
So hello, everybody, and thanks a lot that everybody is here. Mapping the wardrobe, rearranging maps. First, promiscuously plucking out fibers in cluttered and dense events and practices. I try to follow the threads where they lead in order to track them and find their tangles and patterns crucial for staying with the trouble in real and particular places and times. Staying with the trouble, Donna Haraway. Click. Mapping my wardrobe. Made in Bolivia, Italy, Ghana, Ivory Coast, China, Bangladesh, Lithuania, Vietnam, USA, Turkey, Spain, Poland, Indonesia, Peru, Tunisia, Portugal, India, Cambodia, Switzerland, UK, Romania. In my wardrobe, the world is present, the single item with a global connection. Globalization in my closet. Who made my clothes? Made in Italy? Made by Chinese. Made in China? Made by Uyghurs. Made in the UK? Made by South Asians. Made in Turkey? Made by Syrians. Made in Switzerland? Made by Italians. Made-ins woven together. Next slide. Click. What do I know about the people in Lithuania? How much is the living cost in Bolivia? Do you know which harming chemicals are hiding in your wardrobe? How much water was needed to produce all your garments? A study made by Epson shows how big the water footprint of our garments is. Their assumption is 700,000 liters of water. How much water was contaminated during the production of cotton fibers, and how much during the extraction of crude oil for our polyester clothing? Click. A deep look into my closet, taking various perspectives, listening to various languages and multiple voices. Which voices are loud? Which voices are quiet? Which voices are silenced? Which are never heard? Every day we dress us and we accept much ignorance. Language chaos reigns the closet, but as soon as I get dressed and I combine my pants with my blouse and cardigan, they go together wonderfully. A skeleton in the closet. Oh yes, in our wardrobe, exploitation, extraction, and inequality is present more than we want to know. The wardrobe as a global thinking space. Click. Click. The supply chain. The supply chain in fashion. Organization, optimization, efficiency, reduce cost, ensure timely delivery, customer satisfaction, streamlined processes, management efficiency, sourcing, value added chain, manufacturing, distribution, retail, end user efficiency. The supply chain. A chain? Is it still a chain if links are missing? If major links are missing? And where can I find the missing links? The missing information? Who is interested to hide the missing links? Who is able to trace the missing links? Fragments of knowledge without connection. Garments are globetrotters without passport. They travel all around the world. How many miles How many kilometers have they traveled by plane, by ship, or on the road? They traveled on many hidden roads. Along these roads, factories with workers working under tough conditions, too many hours for too low income. Modern slavery, supply chain failings, minimum wages, low pay. Who cares about health and safety? How many people were involved, under which conditions? Who is doing the work and who earns the money? Who and where are our class connected to? An interconnected journey in which raw materials and various components come together. Garments are made, sold, and end up in the trash, and usually far too quickly. Class become landscape. Glaciers disappear, mountains of classing grow. Is the end of life when the garment lands on the landfill, the waste dump, the last link in the supply chain? And who is responsible for this last link? Picking up threads, dropping threads. The supply chain, a network of processes, people and resources, or is it more a felted fabric where the single fiber isn't visible anymore? The single fiber and the single person involved lost identity. Click. Click. Next. Yes. Do I care about all the missing links of the supply chain, the black holes, gaps in traceability? Where can I find the information regarding the raw material? Which road did the fibers went? The silk road, the cotton road, the oil road, the wool road? Did the wool of my jumper arrive on different roads from different countries, cultures spun together? Navigating through my wardrobe, I would like to know more about what I'm wearing. I would love to listen to the stories, the travel diaries of my class. I'm pretty sure I would be shocked by many of the stories. Would there also be stories that would make me laugh and smile? I would like to have a broad basis for my decision-making, my buying decisions. My criteria for buying are limited. It's complex. Is there a right? Is there a wrong? We need a system change. That's what we need. Less is more. Beloved clothes last. Longevity. I care for my class. Are fair trade labels convincing? Do the certifications lead to the goal of a better world for everyone and everything? More equality, less exploitation? Which facts are efficient? Which facts are greenwashing? And which labels can afford certifications? For sure, Shein, H&M, and Zara have the money to do so. Greenwashing, greenwashing, greenwashing. It's hard in the jungle of information to know what is really important, what really has an impact. What is greenwashing? Who does greenwash? It's daunting. What if when we wore our class, we could feel the whole production process, all the effort that went into harvesting the fibers or extracting the oil until the end in the landfill? What if we could feel the poor working conditions, the fatigue and hunger of the workers? What if all the makers, the involved people, animals and plants of one garment were mentioned in the garment? The list would be very, very long. What creates buzz? What information goes in the normal everyday news? Click. Mulesing, microplastic, water consumption of the cotton production, PFAS, harming chemicals. Who tells these stories and why? Whose interest lies underneath? Are these concrete stories, realistic stories? In relation to what? And who weights these stories? A lot of information, disconnected. What if our garments could tell us their stories? What do our cloth think? What would they tell us if they could? What if fibers could talk? Does organic cotton love to be combined with non-organic cotton or with recycled cotton? Is there a feeling of competition between them? Do the plastic teeth of a zipper like the metal cursor? Is it a caress or not? Where stood the tree, the basic material of the viscose blouse? Which bird has built a nest in it? Which woodpecker has foraged in it? Which beetle has found a home in it? What was the sound of the production process? What was the smell of the production? Can I smell the sweat of the workers? Can I feel the suffering? Can I sense the energy, the stress of the production process in my wardrobe? If we would listen carefully to the stories present in the closet, how would we react? Would we still buy as much as we do? In my closet, a lot of unresolved history is hanging. What started in the past? Which journey is new? Click. Who depends on whom? Who exploits whom? Consciously? Unconsciously? Memories are disturbing. Transparency, awareness, and knowledge can be tough. The holes in the map. Why is it possible to hide so many information? Who is interested in hiding them? The world is a mess, a man-made mess. Cloth worn next to the skin, close to the body, intimate. The foreign world on your body. Why do we still travel? We carry several journeys on our bodies every day. Why search far, go far, when the world is so close? Click. Click. Thank you very much to all the person who helped me to create this lecture performance or this trial of the lecture performance. A big thank you goes as well to Amy and Hakan and Union. It's a great opportunity to have this action season to try out new things. Thank you very much.